It's Megan, Wednesday Devotionals. I have another question for you this week, just like every other week. What's your favorite brand? What do you like the best? Do you have a favorite brand of ice cream, or are you not picky and it's just ice cream and you're going to enjoy it? Or maybe you just have a favorite flavor. Do you have a favorite brand of chocolate? I know I do. Well, no, actually, I can't say that. I have a least favorite brand of chocolate. We'll get into that in a second. Do you have a favorite brand of tennis shoes or clothing or jacket or something like that? We all have our favorites, right? They make us feel good. We like them. Maybe we like what the company stands for. But you also have your least favorite brands, right? Your least favorite that, oh, I'm not buying that brands. I don't like Palmer chocolates. There. Now you know. I don't like them at all. I don't think they're very good. I think that there are far more brands of chocolate in this world to thoroughly enjoy other than that one. So I have a negative opinion of that, but I have a very positive opinion of Ghirardelli, or let's see, what are some of my other favorites? Many dark chocolates, just about all dark chocolates. I like Dove too, but I'm not going to be really that picky. I also like fair trade stuff. That's very good. Many things of theirs. I also like Tillamook ice cream. That's my favorite. But my first love was probably Ben & Jerry's fish food. If you haven't tried that, you should. You're not going to appreciate that one. Anyway, we all have our favorites or our least favorites. I want to read a passage to you today, and you'll see where I'm going with this in just a second. I want to read a passage from Galatians for you. Galatians 1:10 through 12. And it says this. Paul says in Galatians, "Am I now seeking human approval or God's approval? Or am I trying to please people? If I were still pleasing people, I would not be a servant of Christ. For I want you to know, brothers and sisters, that the gospel that was proclaimed by me is not of human origin. For I did not receive it from a human source, nor was I taught it, but I received it through a revelation of Jesus Christ." We all have brands that we use in order to please ourselves. But I also wonder, are the brands that you use also in order to please others? Do you wear a certain thing so that you look good? Do you buy a certain thing so that your status might be higher, better? Do you not buy something or use something so that your status doesn't become lower or worse? Here's why I ask. I read a devotional recently, and the woman who wrote it talked about the brand that she was advertising as herself. Let's face it, we all advertise ourselves in different ways. We have ways that we present ourselves when we step out or when we go out or something like that. We all do it. It's not a bad thing unless, of course, we are not being true to the brand of who we are. See? Your favorite brand can say a lot about you. You all know I love sports, and I'm not afraid to share and wear my team, as evidenced by my t-shirt this afternoon. However, do I brand myself respectfully? Do I brand myself positively? Or Do I do that in a negative manner? Isn't it interesting how we use brands to make a judgment? Do we make a judgment on what somebody has, or make a judgment on someone according to what they have, and judge them negatively? Yes, I'm just as guilty as you are. How often do we look at someone else and look negatively on the brand or the image or the logo? You know how you feel when you see a certain logo you don't like. You also know how you feel when you see a certain logo you do like. Are we presenting an image or a logo that we can be proud of? Are you showing yourself in a positive light? Now, I brand myself with quite a few things. You know, again, I say I like sports, but I also brand myself of I'm a wife, I'm a mother. I also proudly say I'm a vocalist. And then when you go deeper into it, somebody makes a comment of, oh, you're a soprano. Well, yeah, I am sometimes. Actually, I'm also a mezzo and an alto, but I'm a vocalist. When people asked me what I did or what I do or what I love, I frequently say, well, my first love is teaching preschool. I'm a preschool teacher. And oftentimes people will see that because of the way I behave or talk or treat others. Often, a lot of the time, you can get a preschool teacher voice out of me without very much effort. But I brand myself saying about me what I do and who I am. And that's not a bad thing, but I want people to understand who I am. Is that a positive thing? Most of the time I'd say so. But when I follow it up with something not so positive, what are people seeing? Am I putting a good light on other vocalists? Am I putting a good light on other preschool teachers or teachers in general? Or if I associate myself with a specific thing, am I putting a good light or presenting that as a positive thing? Or am I doing a disservice or presenting it negatively? How we present ourselves, how we brand ourselves, what we say about ourselves matters. But I think what matters the most is how we, in our hearts and our minds, brand ourselves. How do you do that? Do you brand yourself positively in your own mind? Or do you ridicule yourself? Do you call yourself names? Guilty? How do you brand yourself in your own heart? Sometimes that's an easy question to answer, and sometimes you'd prefer not to answer. And I fully understand that. Believe me, I do. But do you care about who you present yourself to be? I have one other passage I want to read for you. It's from Colossians. This is Colossians 3, 12 through 14. It's pretty significant in reminding us who we need to be as we brand ourselves and as we step out to display ourselves, to show ourselves, to represent who we are. This is Colossians 3, 12 through 14. As God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience. Bear with one another, and if anyone has a complaint against another, forgive each other. Just as the Lord has forgiven you, so you also must forgive. Above all, clothe yourselves with love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. Brothers and sisters, how are you branding yourselves? First and foremost, I want you to remember you are a forgiven, redeemed child of God. That should be the first brand you remember. And it is a brand that I often go back to, in fact, actually every day. Remind yourselves, you are loved, you are enough. And first and foremost, dear friends, you are a child of God. There is nothing else that actually really matters more than that. And as you brand yourself as a child of God, remember that you can brand yourself other ways, but child of God is the most important. This week, I would like to encourage you to pray for the families who are still scrambling to figure out how to do life now that some schools are beginning again and some schools are trying to figure out how to begin. It is tough. It is very tough, especially for moms and dads who are teachers and who are now facing strange classrooms and times. I would invite you to pray especially for those parents who are teachers. It will be hard, and one side will get neglected. So I would encourage you to pray for them and pray for the schools who are so unknown and not knowing what to do. There are many who are affected by that, and those who work for those schools are fearful as well. Pray for them. Join me in those prayers. Remember, you are a child of God, so beloved and enough.